What if I told you that everything you admire in others, success, consistency, strength, isn't about talent, luck, or inspiration? What if the real difference between you and that person who seems to have everything figured out comes down to just one thing: discipline? But not the sugar-coated kind everyone talks about. No. Today, you're going to hear brutal truths, uncomfortable ones, the kind that are pretty but are absolutely necessary. Because without discipline, your dreams are nothing but doomed wishes. Have you ever asked yourself why it's so hard to stick to a habit, even when you know it's good for you? Or why you always seem to find the perfect excuse just when it's time to act? The answer is simple. You're not lacking motivation. You're lacking structure. You're not failing because you can't. You're failing because you're allowing yourself to fail. Discipline doesn't just appear. It's trained. And to train it, you first have to stop lying to yourself. Today, I'm going to give you 5 brutal truths about self-discipline. 5 principles you won't find in soft motivational quotes or books that promise to change your life in 7 days. There are no shortcuts here. Only work, pain, and responsibility. But if you face these truths with courage, your way of living, acting, and thinking will transform. So listen closely, reflect with honesty, and most importantly, act. Before we go on, if this message is hitting you, if you know you need to train your mind with truth and not with excuses, like this video and subscribe to the channel. We don't sell cheap motivation here. We forge real discipline with philosophy, effort, and action. Truth 1. No one will do it for you. Self-discipline begins when you accept that you're completely alone on your path. You might have people who inspire you, maybe even people who support you, but no one can do the work for you. No one else is going to train for you. Write that book. Make those calls. Stick to your diet. Turn off your phone when you need to focus. It's you versus your excuses. You versus your comfort. And if you keep waiting for someone to push you, you'll stay stuck. The Stoics knew this. The more you depend on external factors, the weaker you are inside. Real strength is born from self-reliance, from owning that everything starts and ends with you. No one is going to hand you discipline. You either forge it or you stay soft. Truth 2. The perfect moment doesn't exist. How many times have you said, "When I have more time, when I feel ready, when motivation hits"? But time passes, the conditions are never ideal, and you're still in the same place. Waiting is just a polished way of quitting. There is no perfect day, no magic hour. The right moment is now, exactly when you don't feel like it, when you're tired, when you think you won't perform well. That's where true discipline is forged. Anyone can act when they're inspired. You get up when they're broken inside. If you choose to be part of that small group, you'll get results others can only dream of. Truth 3. You will fail, and that's okay. Most people quit not because they can't, but because they think failing once means they fail completely. But discipline is not linear. It's messy, painful, unstable. You'll have setbacks, days when you won't follow through. And that's part of the process. The problem isn't failure. The problem is using failure as an excuse to quit entirely. Discipline means having the humility to start again, to go back to zero if needed, to keep trying while everyone else gives up. If you can do that, you're already ahead of most, because failure doesn't define you. What defines you is your ability to persist. Truth 4. Instant pleasure is your enemy. We live in a culture that worships instant gratification. Everything is designed to trap you. Notifications, sugar, likes, endless entertainment. Self-discipline is a rebellion against that system. It's about delaying reward, postponing pleasure, saying no to comfort. When you choose to train instead of sleep, to study instead of scroll, to say no when everyone says yes, you're gaining real strength. And that strength builds up. No one sees the low sacrifices you make daily, but you feel them. And eventually, your character no longer depends on how you feel, but on what you decide. That's where mental freedom begins. Truth 5. Without purpose, you will fail. You can have all the tools, all the plans, even all the willpower in the world. But if you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you won't last. Pain without meaning drains you. Sacrifice without direction destroys you. You have to find your why. What are you building? What future are you creating? Who are you fighting for? And no, it doesn't have to be grand. It just has to be clear. Because when you know what you want and why you want it, everything aligns. Discipline stops being punishment and becomes an act of loyalty to yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote it clearly. The man who lives without purpose is a burden to himself. Don't be a burden. Be a cause. Self-discipline isn't something you achieve and then forget. It's a daily battle. A constant training ground. It doesn't always feel good. It's not always visible. But it's always worth it. Because you're not just building habits. You're building identity. So tell me, are you going to keep looking for shortcuts? Or are you finally going to start demanding more from yourself? If you've made it this far, it means part of you is tired of the excuses. You don't need more motivation. You need structure. You need decision. You need discipline. And if you're ready to truly train it, don't walk alone. Subscribe to the channel and like this video, because we don't sugarcoat the truth here. We train your mind with courage, focus, and fire. See you in the next battle. Don't break. Train.